You're watching First Take, presented by Chase.
Back in 2011, Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning had 3 surgeries on his neck. Since then, Manning told Monday Morning Quarterback's Peter King that he can't feel his fingertips. I can't feel anything in my fingertips. It's crazy. I've talked to a doctor recently who said don't count on the feeling coming back. It was hard for me for about 2 years because one doctor told me I could wake up any morning and it might come back. So you wake up every day thinking today's the day. Then it's not. Manning's numbers are actually better without feeling in his fingertips. His completion percentage, yard per attempt, and TD percentage are also up, with his interception percentage going down. Jerome, maybe mind over matter. Jerome Bettis still here with us. How much does Peyton have left here?
If the year before is any indication to the next year, it tells me that he's got, really, as long as he really wants to play, I mean, at least 2 years left to play at a very high level, I would have to think. When you look at Peyton Manning, he keeps himself in great shape. He's this very cerebral guy. He understands everything there is about the game, and he's constantly evolving, wanting to learn more. And then you look at him physically, he's doing everything he needs to do. The only question is him getting hit. If he continues to get hit like he got hit last year, maybe not the year before, but a couple years past, that's the only thing that I think that can derail him, in the sense of him not playing for another 2 years. But I see 2 years at the very least, at a very high level, this year and next year at a very high level.
Wow. Stephen A.
I can't believe this is even a discussion. The last couple of years, not feeling his fingertips, Peyton Manning threw for 5,477 yards, 55 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions in 2013, completing 68.3% of his passes. And then last year, he completed 66% of his passes, threw 39 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. And there are questions. What questions? If he's not feeling his fingertips, what every NFL quarterback needs to do is to go to the doctor and say, can you find a way to numb my fingertips so I can't feel them either? If that's going to lead to me throwing like this, brother? I mean, come on now. I mean, with Peyton Manning, here's what it comes down to. You got to watch him as the season wanes, because it's taxing on the body, especially when you're taking those hits. And if that's, to me, that's the only question mark about Peyton Manning. How much durability does he really, really have? We know he's been there, but in the playoffs last year, he looked like a shell of himself because the players said and knew he was not anywhere near 100%. He tried to play, but he just didn't have it because he had gotten banged up. Something like that happens again, we'll see. But if he's healthy, I don't care about his fingertips. Doesn't seem to affect his play at all.
Although, Stephen A., even you said late last year he was taking such a pounding, especially that one game that you kept pointing to, the game at St. Louis. He just got rocked, man.
22-7.
I don't think they were ready for that, and he wasn't ready for it. And I'm not sure, even though it was a physical pounding, I'm not sure that mentally he got over that pounding. Then he had the quad injury at San Diego, and then he was a shell of himself. Yeah. Now, down the stretch, they became as devastating a run team as there was in the NFL, and I believe that will continue this year. But I'm surprised you, Stephen A., are saying what you're saying, because I thought near the end of last year, you thought he might be one and done, one more year and done, right? That's how I remember it.
Well, yeah, that's exactly, because when we saw how he got beat up against St. Louis and then how he looked in that playoff game, and if you remember, in the games leading up to the postseason, those last several regular season games, they were running the ball considerably more than usual in a clear effort to protect Peyton Manning, who didn't seem like himself. That's what sparked the debate more so than anything else.
Okay. So for me, I'm surprised you're in that mode of he could sort of play as long as he wants to. I was thinking going into this year that this could be a swan song year, just depending on the punishment factor, because he did take a lot really down the stretch, but especially at St. Louis. He can't take that in his late 30s going toward 40. You can't live with that, because you don't want to live with that. He's better than that. He's got broadcasting. I don't know. He could probably be just about anything he wanted to be in a second career, right?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm with you guys to reiterate your points. Feeling in your fingertips has to be way overrated because his QBR was first in the NFL that first year in Denver, first the second year, and it plummeted to third last year behind Romo and Rodgers, and Tony Romo had off-the-chart QBR last year. So first, and third, I thought he should have been MVP the first year, and Adrian Peterson got it. Then Peyton was the MVP the second year. Well, this is an incredible stretch that he's had, and one key stat, over those 3 years, on passes of 20-plus yards, he has led the NFL in completion percentage on those passes. He's 48% on 20-plus yard passes. So your gripping of the football, it just doesn't matter if you can feel your fingertips because his hand strength and his arm strength is still good enough, obviously, because that coming off the neck procedures, all the talk was about he couldn't get his tricep to fire, so he had no arm strength. They've told David Cutcliffe has been here, the Duke coach, who's close with Peyton and Eli both, and Cutcliffe says that Peyton couldn't throw the ball across the room to him. You know, like he had no arm strength, and to do that coming off those 3 neck procedures is just all-time phenomenal.
Now, but let me understand this. You're saying that first and QBR are first and a third, and then you think the next year is his last year? That's what I'm saying. I think if they can protect him, and he doesn't take those big hits, then he has the potential to continue to play. I don't think this year would be his swan song if they can protect him. I know that's the caveat to this whole conversation. If they can protect him, I believe he can play 2-3 more years under the right protection in terms of the offensive line, and especially with the new emphasis of running the football. I think this could give him some longevity because he's not going to take the amount of hits having to drop back as many times as he's had.
And they do have a stable of running back. They go 4 deep, and they're all pretty good. They're all pretty good.
They're all healthy now.
And they're all healthy. And, okay, maybe that way, but if he has another game like the one at St. Louis, I think he would start thinking, I just don't know if this is worth it anymore.
Absolutely.
Or also if it doesn't work out with Kubiak and that new offense.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's right.
All right, so you guys segued so nicely for me. Speaking of quarterback hits, should quarterbacks be fair game in the read option? Find out who thinks there should be an amendment to the rule. The bus is sticking around. We need your thoughts on this.
We do. We'd love to talk about it.